I mean, what's the tea? I don't know what I'm doing right now. Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Mina. Welcome to my channel, Mina Reads, and today we're doing the Black Booktuber tag. This tag was created by Mariama from Reading Black. I'll leave the link to her original video in the description below. So yeah, let's just get into the tag. Me and my friends thought that we would all do it and that it would just be like a cool group activity thing. We're all gonna watch each other's videos. So the first question is to tell us a little bit about yourself. So my name's Mina. My first name is really Amina, but I prefer Mina. So yeah, I'm in my 20s, I'm in college, I'm bisexual. Those are really the only things about me that matter. That's my answer to that question. The next question: who's a Black author that you love that a lot of people don't talk about? Oh, it's Editing Amina here. I look crusty, rusty, and dusty. Anyway, I fucked up this one question, and I said an author who's not actually Black, so my bad. My revised answer to this question is Nia Forester. I think Nia Forester is an amazing new adult romance writer. I think she also writes adult romance, but the one book that I read by her, Snowflake, is a new adult romance. It's set in college. It's about these two people who live across the hall from each other in like these apartments. Basically a forced proximity romance where they are shut in together during like a snowstorm at their college and they go to Penn State. And I don't know, I just was so obsessed with this book. I think that the writing was so beautiful, and I think that Nia did an amazing job of developing these characters, developing their relationship, and showcasing this really like brilliant intimacy that develops between these two characters. I just love their relationship so much. I was obsessed with this book when I read it in February, and it was so good. Nia is definitely amazing, and I would highly recommend Snowflake. My favorite book about the Black experience would probably have to be An Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon. This book is science fiction, is set in the future, and it's like a space opera. So it's on this spaceship, and we follow a character named Aster, and she's kind of like a gender non-conforming, like intersex individual, and we basically see her experiences in this ship that she lives on called the Matilda, which has basically reinvented the social caste system of like the antebellum South. And so slavery is basically a thing on this spaceship, and it's really about like how white supremacy can exist in so many different spaces, and white supremacy is not confined to a particular time period or to a particular setting. White supremacy is so powerful and so insidious that it has even infected this ship, where the ship is supposed to be, you know, sending humanity to a place far away from the destroyed Earth, and rather than focusing on like rehoming humanity, they care more about cultivating white supremacy and oppressing Black people. And I just think that that book is particularly interesting. Aster, she's just an amazing character, and we get to see so much culture and like the language used in this book. Everything about this book is just really amazing, and I think it's definitely a brilliant discussion of like the resilience of Black people and Black culture and everything like that, even under like the very oppressive rule of like white supremacy. And I think that that book is just so brilliant, so well executed, so well crafted. One of my favorite books of all time, and also it's queer, so I would definitely recommend it if you like science fiction, if you like really topical, hard-hitting kind of science fiction, and you also want to see like, you know, some LGBT rep. I would definitely recommend it. There's a lot of different kinds of representation in that book because there's a lot of characters, so I would definitely recommend it. I think you all should read it. Favorite book by a Black author. I feel like I'm really terrible at picking a favorite book ever. Whenever this question comes up, I feel like I'm really confused about like what I should pick. But I would say that maybe my answer would be The Weight of the Stars by Ankrum. This book, I read it last year. It was one of my favorite books of last year, and I just cannot stop thinking about this book. I cannot stop thinking about the characters in that book, the friend group in that book. Ryan, the main character, she was just so brilliant, and I think that Ankrum is one of my favorite authors of all time because I loved both of her books, The Wicker King and The Weight of the Stars. But something about The Weight of the Stars just sticks with me. I think that The Weight of the Stars is just so brilliant, and I did a terrible job of explaining what it is. So The Weight of the Stars is a series, it's a book. What am I talking about? This is why you need to plan before you start filming. This is bad. Anyway, the way that this starts is about this girl named Ryan, and Ryan is raising herself and her younger brother, and her younger brother also has a child, so she's helping him raise his child. And it's about her. She's in high school. She's an emancipated minor. She's a senior. She is trying very hard to help like raise her family, raise herself. She has this friend group. She's definitely the mom friend, and basically she tries to take this girl named Alexandria, who's new in town, under her wing, and Alexandria is very resistant to it, so they kind of develop this antagonism between them, which turns into a friendship and finally into love. It's a very slow burn kind of like relationship, but this book really focuses in on friendship, and I just love this book so much. I think the found family aspect of this story is just so brilliant and amazing, and it's one of my favorite books of all time for certain. I love Kate Ankrum so much, and I think that this was just such like an emotionally moving book. I literally sobbed so much reading the author's note of this book, which is like not something that I ever do. So definitely this book's power, this book's impact. Recommend a black queer book. I'm gonna have to say Treasure by Rebecca Weatherspoon. I talk about this book a lot. It's one of my favorite sapphic books that I've ever read in my life. It's about these two college students named Trisha and Alexis. They meet at a strip club because Trisha is a stripper named Treasure. They meet at their strip club. Trisha gives Alexis a lap dance, and then at Monday they see each other in their computer science class, and they are like lab partners. And I just really love this book a lot. I think it's so good. I think that it's very positive about sex work, and I love the fact that like sex work is not demonized in this book. I love the relationship. I love that it's between two black girls. This book is just really good. It's really fun. It's really sexy, and I liked it a lot. So it's definitely one of my favorite like college romances ever. Period. Is so good, and I would definitely recommend it. Recommend a book with a black person on the cover. Maybe like Destiny's Embrace by Beverly Jenkins. I've been thinking about the Destiny series by Beverly Jenkins, and I really want to do like a reread of the first book and then read the rest of the books in that series because the covers in that series are so good. But anyway, I'm obsessed with the cover of this book. Aren't they stunning? Like, just look at this. Are they not stunning? So yeah, I definitely would recommend this if you like historical romance. I enjoyed this book. I read it a while ago, so I definitely need to reread it to see if I do still enjoy it, but I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a good time, and I think that Beverly Jenkins is cool because she kind of incorporates like history lessons within her romance novels, which I always think is like really fun. The fact that she incorporates like little known history in her stories. So I really like that book, and I think that is something I definitely want to revisit soon. Recommend a book by a black person that makes you happy. I definitely have to say I Think I Might Love You by Christina C. Jones. I have talked about this book before on my channel. I don't know if you guys have been around for that because there's lots of new people on the channel now. But Christina C. Jones, one of my favorite authors of all time, and I really love her romances so much. But this particular book is like a part of a romance novella series called the Love Sisters Trilogy, and in this book is particularly about a sister named Jacqueline. And Jacqueline, this is like a hate to love situation between her and this dude. They basically don't like each other because Jacqueline broke into his house accidentally one time when she was drunk, and now there's just all this animosity between them, and it's so funny. It's one of the funniest things I've probably ever read in my life. It's really short, really fast-paced, really fun, and really sweet, and I just love it so much. And it definitely always makes me happy when I think about it, and also the cover makes me happy. I think the cover is so fucking cool. So yeah, obsessed with that book. It makes me so happy. Obsessed with that whole trilogy, actually. The whole trilogy just brings me so much joy. Definitely recommend it. And they're all really short, so it's like, why not? Go read it. Recommend some black booktubers. Okay, so I'm gonna say Noria from Noria Reads, Starla from Starla Reads, also all of my homies from the Unfriendly Black Hotties group chat. I'm gonna leave a link to the Unfriendly Black Hotties playlist. We've made a playlist of like all of our videos so that you can check us out if you want. There's like 19 people in that group chat, so there's a lot of us, and we're all really cool, wonderful people. To name just a few: Mayana from Mayana Reads, Capri from Capri's Book Island, Fadwa from Word Wonders, Joel from Fictional Fates, and Tahira from Siri Tahiri. There's so many people in that group chat, so I can't name everybody, but I recommend all of them. They're all really wonderful people. Also, I hope you know that the Unfriendly Black Hotties thing is a Mean Girls reference.
Unfriendly Black Hotties.
We are very friendly, very nice people, just so you know. Also want to mention Diana from Diana in Color. I love the aesthetic of her channel so much, and I think she very recently did the Black Booktuber tag, so you should check her video out. And also Jessie from Bow Ties and Books. Jessie, they're a legend. We all know Jessie. We all love Jessie. Jesse for sure. Talk about a book with black characters? What? Talk about a book by a black author that's coming out in 2020. So next week, June 30th, a book by Rebecca Weatherspoon is coming out called Harbor, which is the third book in her Beards and Bondage series, which is exactly what it sounds like. Usually the books are about a girl who has run into some kind of troubles, tough times, she's in danger, and she ends up moving to like an isolated place, and she moves in with like a hot guy who's typically bearded, and then they have some kind of like BDSM relationship, and it typically deals with like domination and submission and all that kind of good stuff. But Harbor, I'm super fucking excited about this one because it has a polyamorous relationship in it, and I'm gonna be eating it up. You all know that I love polyamorous romance so much, so I'm really excited for this. One of my favorite romance authors writing a polyamorous books with black characters. We're living. I'm living my best life right now, and I'm so excited. And I recently got an arc. Last night I was talking about, like, I was talking to my friend Sil, and I was like, oh my god, I really want an arc. You're so lucky, because she had one. And then Rebecca was like, do you want one? And so then I DM'd her and she sent me one, and it's just like, so I'm so excited to read that. It's going to be so hot. I already know it. I'm going to be emotional. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Can you tell I'm excited? Because I'm so fucking excited. So anyway, the last thing is to tag some booktubers. So I'm going to tag some people in the description below. But if you're going to do this tag, please let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're planning to read any of these books that I recommended, or what would your answers be to some of these questions. I'd love to know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And a special thank you to all of my patrons.